Hello everybody, Shinjo here, welcome back to the channel and to another seasonal anime breakdown. And in saying that, I'm probably not going to cover everything because I don't want this video to be hours and hours long. But I'm going to be here looking at the summer anime. Now, it is currently middle of June. I don't know if there's everything that's fully confirmed or if there's still things up in the air. So if things change, this is just the best time that I have to record this. I think I have an idea of some things that's going to be in the summer, but we're just gonna have to see. Okay, so this makes things a lot easier for me because this first page, I don't know if you can actually see. Okay, you can't see the whole thing. So we have second seasons of everything, basically. We got a second season of Dandadan, Dress Up Darling, and Kaiju number 8. Dandadan's probably the only one that I'm going to be keeping up with because I haven't watched anything involving Dress Up Darling to its fullest. And Kaiju number 8, same sort of idea. I don't know why I can't actually submit this. I suppose I could just do it from my phone because it seems like that's more reliable. But yeah, anyway, Dandadan, definitely going to be watching it because realistically, from the three, that's the only one I really care about. I'm curious to see how they're going to cover the first episode because they ended the first part of the season on a cliffhanger. At this point, I'm just blabbing, so we're just going to move on. And we have more season 2s. So, Shield Hero, I haven't kept up with it since, I believe, season 3. I think it was season 3 that I watched the first 1 or 2 episodes of it, and I just never continued it. Call the Night, I don't know. I'm already watching a vampire anime with Mayanaka Punch, so I don't know if I'm going to watch it right away. Now, this is the one that I believe that I was interested in. As soon as I can find it. Okay, here it is. What does it translate to again? I can't remember for sure. But I'm definitely going to be adding it. It translates, the fragrant flower bloomed with dignity. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be watching this just because it looks good. I believe it's Cloverworks, which makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Okay, so let's see what this is about so I have an idea of what I'm getting into. Despite being adjacent to one another, Chidori Public High School and the all-girls Kyoko Private Academy seem to exist in two different worlds. While the latter boasts an immaculate representation and favors students from wealthy backgrounds, the former is a nest for dim-witted delinquents. Everyone at Kyoko harbors a deep hatred for the Chidori neighbors. 16-year-old Rintaro Tsurugi is a student, and Chidori, whose intimidating face leads people to avoid him. Rintaro pays no mind to this as he's content with his group of friends. However, there is something he has not told them yet. Sometimes he helps out at his family's cake shop. One day at work, Rintaro sees a customer at a table, but she runs off before he can talk to her. The next day, he receives an apology from the girl, Kaoru Waguri, who explains that she did not run away because of his appearance and that she believes Rintaro is kind-hearted. Although he is not used to Kaoru's bright personality, Rintaro looks forward to forming a friendship with her. There is just one obstacle that stands in his way. She's a Kyoko student. Yeah, okay, so I think realistically the one thing that's going to keep me invested with that show is the main girl, because I've seen her and I just like the way she looks. And at the same time, it's Cloverworks, which, yeah, they're doing Dress Up Darling, and I believe, no, they're not doing Shield Hero. I don't know what I was talking about that was Cloverworks before. Maybe it was Dress Up Darling, or maybe it was this. But yeah, realistically, that's probably the only thing that's going to keep me invested in it. And speaking of being invested in things, this is honestly just wild that it's the summer of sequels. So, Sakamoto Days, I just finished the first part of it a few months ago. So, I'm definitely looking forward to watching this again. More, what's it called? The Bunny Girl. Yeah, The Bunny Girl, I haven't kept up with it. Grand Blue, if I'm not mistaken, it's been a long time since the first season, so that's cool for anybody that's a fan of it. I personally haven't watched it, so I don't really care as much. Still cool though. Now we have Dr. Stone, which I haven't watched, so that makes things easier for me. And now we have Gachiakuta. Living in the slums of a wealthy town, Rudo and his foster father Regto try to coexist with the rest of the town's residents, but Rudo despises the wastefulness of the upper class. Ignoring the warnings from those around him, Rudo regularly rummages through the town's garbage in search of anything useful or valuable to save from the abyss, a massive hole where anything considered trash is dumped, including people. Okay. Rudo's biological father was one such person, having been thrown into the abyss after he was accused of murder. One day, after running into a mysterious figure on the way home, Rudo returns to find Regto's dying body on the floor. Geez, spoilers! He's immediately found at the scene by the authorities and is charged with murder. Oh yeah! No one believes his claims of innocence and he is thrown into the abyss. Instead of dying, however, he finds himself in a strange, foul-smelling place surrounded by monsters made of trash. When Rudo is attacked by said monsters, he is saved by a man called Engine, who reveals himself to be a cleaner, someone who uses special weapons called vital instruments to combat these creatures. In order to get his revenge on the one who killed Regto, Rudo reluctantly becomes a cleaner and fights his way back up to the abyss, out of the abyss. Okay, I'm really curious, and I know that I could just find this answer out just by finding a trailer that I'm sure is out at this point, but I'm really curious on how it's going to look, because the poster makes it seem like it's going to be really dark and gritty, and honestly, just from hearing it, it gives me vibes of Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds because of the whole class system and the garbage and stuff, so I'm really looking forward to this. Now we have new Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt. I have heard about this, especially with a lot of people that grew up with it. I can't remember when the first season was actually, but I can imagine it was maybe close to 20 years ago. I could fact check that, but I don't feel like it. But I don't know. Since it says a new season of it, I don't know if I need to familiarize myself with that first. At the same time, I probably could, since I'm sure it's not going to be long. I'm just more interested with if they're going to dub this, because I know that a lot of people probably watch the dub of it first. But, I don't know. I'll leave that one up in the air. Now we have Silent Witch, which that's what I'm just going to call it. So we have Monica Everett. The Silent Witch is the only mage in the world who can use Enchanted Magecraft, a true hero who single-handedly defeated the legendary Black Dragon. However, this young genius is actually super duper shy. That's right, she learned to cast spells silently just to avoid speaking in public, and despite her power, she has zero self-confidence. Now Monica has been tasked with secretly guarding the second prince. Can she keep it together as she faces both the evil forces targeting the prince and the terrors of social interaction? But I'm curious about what Studio Gokumi has also done that I have watched, because I recognize the name. Gakuen Academy, okay. Kiniro Mosaic, that's right. The Vending Machine Isekai. Okay, yeah. Andro, that's right. Okay, yeah, cool. Because I'm more thinking that the voice is going to be a big part of it. Because a character that's super shy like that is going to have crazy outbursts and stuff. And a voice like Nanahoshi from Food for the Soul is perfect for this. And it's like the Receptionist Isekai, where the main draw that I've seen is the performance of the main VA. And I feel like this is going to be a similar thing. You can't make this up. I didn't actually know that the Vending Machine Isekai was going to get a second season. Well, you can just call that perfect timing. I'm not going to watch it because I actually have respect for myself, but either way. Now we have City the Animation. I'm just going to call it City. Midori is in a bit of a bind. She is in debt, and her landlady is trying to shake her down for unpaid rent. I hope it's not literally. Her best friend refuses to learn her cast because she's wised up to her tricks. Maybe some bullying would help. Or a bit of petty theft. Neither is sustainable. Maybe getting a job will settle things. But working means less time for fun adventures in the big city. Yeah, it's a gag. That makes sense. And it's Kyoto. I think just for the fact of it being Kyoto is going to mean that it's going to be really good. And honestly, I think this is the first thing that Kyoto has done that's not a sequel to something else ever since the big thing that happened. I don't want to bring it up that much to ruin the mood, but I'm really curious about this. I feel like it's going to be similar to Nichijou, and I hope that I'm not proven wrong. But up next we have Suikote New Saga. After a fierce battle, magic swordsman Kyle finally killed the Demon Lord after being seriously injured in battle. Kyle, on the verge of death, approaches a relic which was in possession of the Demon Lord and sends him to the past. After recovering from his initial shock, he decides to use this opportunity to avoid making the same mistake of the past and become stronger. I don't really care. I mean, I can't remember what it was. It was either another fantasy or isekai or something where you have all these big things and then main character, Kyle. I can't remember what it was because honestly all these blend together. But either way, sure. Now I'm absolutely going to touch on this before I even cover everything else. Another part of Hanako already? Although I guess I say already, but realistically, it's probably been finished, or at least the first part of season 2 for a while. I just finished that a few years ago, or a few months ago, my apologies. So it feels like it hasn't been as long. It says Studio Unknown? It's not gonna, well, I mean, I guess it might be, but it's not, might not necessarily be the same studio that did everything else. If it's not, I'm gonna be a little disappointed, not gonna lie. Because I like the way that it looks up to now. They might confirm that it's going to be the same studio, but since it's unconfirmed, I'm not sure how I feel about that. We have Mizu Zokushi no Mahotsuka. So I know that is like water and wizard. That's all that I got from that. And lo and behold, it translates to the water magician. You can't make this stuff up. Ryo is delighted to be reincarnated into the fantastical world of Fee, where he thinks he'll get to live a quiet life learning his newfound water magic. Going with the flow here, however, means something very different. Ryo is immediately pitted against the wild lands he winds up in, and the slew of deadly monsters that call the remote subcontinent home. You'd think he'd forget about taking it easy when he's stuck fighting for his life, but luckily for Ryuto, he's naturally optimistic, clever, and blessed with the hidden eternal youth trait. Which I know what that meant, but I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. 20 years pass in the blink of an eye, and each encounter along the way pushes him one step closer to the pinnacle of human magic. Little does he realize that that's only the opening chapter of his life. Fateful meetings soon thrust him into the forefront of history, forever changing the course of his life. Thus begins the adventures of the strongest water magician. Okay. I mean, I don't know. It may be nothing, but it may be the next free rent, because that's kind of the vibe I got from that. It's probably not going to look as good because people's expectations are so far up. And I feel like I shouldn't look at this one, but we have Watery-kun. Watery? Water? Anyway. Stupid jokes aside, 2 years ago, the death of his parents left him as the sole caretaker for his younger sister Suzu Watery, and forced him to move in with their aunt. So devoted is he to Suzu that he refuses to join clubs or even hang out with anyone, earning him snide comments and the title of Sis-con at his new school. Yikes. But as long as Suzu is safe and happy, Naoto doesn't care what anyone else says. However, his sneering classmates may turn out to be the least of his worries. The sudden transfer of a girl named Satsuki Tachibana brings back traumatic memories of his past. A past she had a hand in making so unpleasant. Nasty secrets unknown to Naoto begin to surface with her arrival, threatening his new life. Sure, I mean, I'm not planning on watching it at the moment, but we'll have to see. This one looks interesting. Ruri no Hoseki. And I already read the title, so technically I'm cheating. But it's basically about... Where did it go? I'm trying to find it on here. I don't know where it is. Maybe I missed it already. I don't know. I'll look for it later. The story of Ruri, a girl who likes jewelry and accessories, diving into the world of mineralogy. That's a word. I mean... I wouldn't say I super care about gems and stuff in any sort of way, but I'm hoping that it's going to look good, and also, Not that this actually matters for anything, but I love the Gem Knight cards from Yu-Gi-Oh! So I may actually learn a bit about gems between those two. Now we have Game Center Shoujo, so Game Center Girl, and that is not High Score Girl, of course not. Renji Kusakabe, an arcade employee, one day notices a small foreign girl struggling to win a stuffed toy called Mainly Koala from a crane game. 3 hours later, after finishing his shift, Renji sees the girl still at the game, but the toy remains unmoved. Feeling sorry for her, he decides to help. He inserts a 100 yen coin, and with one skillful try, wins the toy, which he then hands to the girl. Startled by this unexpected gesture, the girl looks at Renji with suspicion. Flustered, Renji hastily tells her it's a Valentine's Day gift. Little does he know, in her home country of England, Valentine's Day is traditionally when men give women gifts along with a confession of love. Oh no. Oh no. I mean, I feel like this is gonna be like the other one that I looked at earlier with the Cloverworks with the girl and whatever. I feel like the only thing that's gonna make me interested is the main girl anyway. But I'm always fine to be proven wrong. I don't know if I actually will, but you can never actually tell. Okay, where in the heck is this gem show? I don't know where it's at. I'll have to look for it later. But anyway, I want to look on this, not because the title is certainly an interesting thing, but yeah, it's called Bad Girl. Yutani, a first-year high school student with sharp eyes, piercings, and a flashy two-tone hair, is not a well-known bad girl who is not a well-known bad girl who makes everyone I need to read this again. Okay, she's got all these hair things. Is not a well-known bad girl who everyone makes way for. She's actually a good girl at heart, and her mind is always full of the thoughts of the school's Madonna, Atari Mizutori. Wanting to attract the attention of the disciplinary chairman, Yu decides to quit being an honor student and become a bad delinquent. A school comedy depicting the struggles of a slightly foolish, self-proclaimed delinquent is about to begin. So I can't imagine that this is actually going to be, as the people call it, good. But the only reason that I want to watch this is because it's done by Studio Bridge. And since Studio Bridge isn't doing Rush Yu-Gi-Oh!, then this is the only way that I can actually watch anything from Studio Bridge. Plus, it'd be interesting if the designs look similar to the characters from Go Rusher 7s. But yeah, it's probably not going to be good, but I'm going to at least be open to it. Okay, I was just going to keep on moving, and then I saw this. Futari Solo Camp. I'll give you one guess on why I'm stopping at this one. The story centers on Gen Kinokura, a devoted solo camper who treasures his solitude. During one of his unexpected usual camping trips, he unexpectedly crosses paths with Shizuko Kusano, a total camping novice. What starts as an accidental encounter evolves into an unusual partnership, as the two embark on what can only be described as solo camping for two. I don't know if that makes any sense, but sure. So where is it on here? Futari Solo Camping. Because I was scrolling through here, I didn't even see it earlier. Wait, it's an adult cast? That's what it says on here. That's really cool because that at least makes it a bit. Oh yeah, I see it. It says it right there. But at least that makes it different from Laid Back Camp. Now you may be thinking, it's similar to Laid Back Camp. Isn't it going to be a poor representation or a poor comparison? Maybe. I'm watching it anyway. Well, that covers a lot of stuff from here, but let's check Pokemon Concierge. Ooh, where is it? I'd be surprised if I can find that because I can't find the gem thing. I can't find it, not yet. I really like Pokemon Concierge. I forgot that September. Okay, well, it's a little bit further away than what I thought. But still, at least it's there. Is there anything else that... Okay, movies, we have Chainsaw Man, I don't care about. Demon Slayer, probably not going to watch, don't really care as much. Alice in Wonderland movie? It looks interesting. I mean, at the end of August, it's going to be out. I don't know if I'll remember it at that point, but it looks interesting at least. And that is everything. Or at least anything that matters to me. So that is going to be my breakdown of the summer season. Honestly, I'm surprised at how many sequels there ended up being. I didn't expect that there was going to be that many. I knew that there were some, but I feel like half of the shows this next season is going to be sequels. But I would say the one that I'm most looking forward to is probably... I want to actually find it. Probably this one, because I really like the way it looks just from the poster, and I'm sure once I see the trailer, I'm going to be more interested in it. But, I don't know. At the same time, I didn't go through everything, and I kind of stopped halfway through. But in a way, I think that works better for me, because if I don't watch and familiar with everything, if I decide to start something that I'm not familiar with, I'll be surprised by it. But let me know what you're looking forward to from this season. If you enjoyed, hit that like button down below, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you next time. Momentai.